afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles and I'm Bob. It's good to see you, Bob. I know. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about powerful and kind. Charisma, that's what it is, a pretty powerful duo. Strength paired with kindness. There's a particular kind of charisma that captivates more deeply than charm, wit or looks alone ever could. It's that rare fusion of power and kindness. I like pockets. Yeah, me too. I'd like industrial-sized pockets, actually. You would? Yeah, so I can stick stuff in them. Like what? Oh, rocks, cake, lipstick, a baby dinosaur, Oh, geez. When someone carries real influence, whether through personal confidence, social stature, sharp intellect, or meaningful connections, and they choose to wield that power with gentleness, grace, and generosity, it's magnetic. A man asked me for $1. I told him I only carry big bills. He said, well, give me one of those. So I gave him my electric bill. Yeah, good one, Bob. Yeah. Power alone can impress. It can command rooms, make moves, shape outcomes, but when it's combined with kindness, it transforms. Suddenly, the person isn't just powerful, they're admirable. My only advice, eat dessert first. You never know when the world's going to end. My grandmother said that if you eat dessert first, you will always have room for it. Oh, I like that. Yeah. The People's Princess, a tale of power and heart. Once upon a modern time in the grand and rainy land of England, there lived a princess who wasn't just born into fairy tales, she made them for real. Her name, Princess Diana. Now, this wasn't your usual tiara-wearing, tower-living royal, was she? Diana didn't have dragons to fight, but she had something just as fierce. Tradition, tabloids, and lots of people telling her how to act. Yet somehow she turned all that pressure into something magical. And what did she do that with? With kindness. From the moment she became Princess of Wales, Diana had the world's eyes on her, didn't she? Yeah. They watched her fashion, always stunning, her smile, always genuine, and her fairy tale wedding to Prince Charles. Spoiler, wasn't quite a happily ever after. But here's where the story gets powerful, because instead of just playing the royal role, Diana rewrote it. I read somewhere that being sarcastic on a regular basis can add up to 3 years to your life. That's true. I'm going to bloody live forever. It's true. I'm 784 years old now. So Princess Diana visited hospitals not just to shake hands and wave, but to sit with sick children, sick people, hug AIDS patients back when people were too afraid to, and really listen to those who felt invisible. Reporters once asked why she hugged so many people, and she simply said, hugs can do great amounts of good, especially for children. So here's some lines from a song by Taylor Smith. Never be so polite you forget your power, and never wield such power that you forget to be polite. Oh yeah, absolute perfection. She's a genius, she is. I know, I've got to agree. See, there's another with princess vibes and a superhero heart, Taylor Swift. So Diana walked through minefields in war-torn countries, not because it looked good in photos, though while those photos were powerful, but because she wanted to show the world that forgotten people matter, that no one should be left behind. It's a calmness and a strength, isn't it? Yes, not needing anything external and being content within herself for others. And she did all this while being one of the most famous women on earth. Cameras followed her everywhere, yet she remained real, powerful and kind, which to me equals charisma, and she had it in spades. She laughed, she cried, stood up where it would have been easier to sit down. So Diana, yes, she had the royal power, but her true power was in making people feel seen, loved and valued. And that's why even after her tragic death in 1997, millions around the world wept as they'd lost a friend. I remember when she passed, I was in New Zealand at the time, and it was so sad. I was in my cafe, it was lunchtime, I had a shop full of people, and the news came on and it just really got very, very quiet. I once heard someone say that beautiful means be you to the full. Oh, I love that, Bob. Yeah, I thought so. Her legacy lives on in her sons, in her charities, and in anyone who chooses kindness over cruelty, compassion over silence. So the tale of Princess Diana is not just a royal story. You were going to say a royal stoyle. I was. Anyway, it's a reminder that you can wear a crown and still hold out your hand, that you can have fame and still have heart. I believe a good way to prepare yourself for parenthood is to talk to rocks because they have similar listening habits. Oh, there's an observation, yeah. Another character I'd like to talk about is Selene Marques. Selene Marques stands with the quiet strength of a mountain, immovable, deeply rooted and serene on the surface. She's the founder of Hearth and Haven, a globally recognised sanctuary for rescued farm animals. But to those who know her, Selene is something more than a public figure. She's a presence. Hey, have you ever mistaken someone else's car for yours and tried to open the door? Well, yeah. In fact, back in the car key open the door days, I managed to get into a car and immediately thought, what is that stench? Looked to the passenger seat and there was a pile of dirty work clothes, not mine, oopsie daisy. My car was on the other side of a huge van that was parked between my car and the one that I got into, so I got out of that one pretty fast, which I did. Selena is a woman of 6 feet with broad shoulders, calm, observant eyes. She has an air of command that never requires her to raise her voice. So a committed vegan since the age of 17, Selene's convictions about animal welfare are unshakable. Not just a dietary choice, veganism to her is a moral commitment, a daily practice of non-violence. She does not buy leather. She won't walk into restaurants where foie gras is served, and she doesn't shy away from confrontation when cruelty hides behind euphemisms like humane slaughter or ethical farming. Yet she never berates or belittles. Her strength is in her composure. She'll look at you in the eye, listen with full attention, and then dismantle your assumptions with calm, thoughtful clarity. I'm an animal in bed, more specifically a koala. I can sleep for 22 hours a day. I know, you really can. Yeah, I know. Selene believes education, not aggression, creates lasting change, and volunteers at her sanctuary are trained not only in animal care but also in empathy and communication. If you want to protect the voiceless, she often says, you must learn to speak with kindness, even to those who oppose you. Yes, yes. And in the boardroom, she's persuasive. In the barn, she's hands-on, wiping the eyes of a sick goat or lifting a piglet into her arms as gently as if it was made of glass. Her power doesn't come from her position or her following, but from the consistency between what she believes and how she lives. I love that combination, powerful and kind. Selene is often described as intimidating in the best way. What a way to describe a person. Not because she's aggressive, but because she has something called integrity, and her integrity demands reflection. Being near her makes people reconsider their habits, not because she asks them to, but because they feel intuitively that she walks a path that probably only a few of us have actually glimpsed. I was thinking that someone looked at a purple onion and called it a red onion, and you know what? That really bothers me. Feel the same about blueberries. They're purple. Anyway, but moving on. Selene is known for her kindness. It extends to both animals and humans, as we've discussed, and she believes in second chances, and she hires formerly incarcerated people to work at a sanctuary, and so they're able to extend their patience and compassion to the animals, and I think that's just, it's a wonderful thing. That is impressive. Yeah, I think so too. I thought I had social anxiety. Turns out I just didn't want to hang out with a bunch of assholes. Thank you for that. That's right. To Selene, power isn't about control, it's about protection and love, which clearly with her love for animals and human nature, and it's a kindness that fights but it doesn't harm people. And the authority and people that have that kind of presence about them is very reassuring. And the weight they carry is not used to dominate, but to protect, to uplift, and to, just make space for others. We squint at the sun because it's bright. We squint at people because they're not. That's because brightness and idiocy are both painful to watch. Ouch! True. Yes. This kind of charisma doesn't beg for attention, it earns it. And these individuals don't need to prove their worth through ego or aggression because they embody strength without having to be cruel. and they're clear about things and they're not cold.
Yeah, I can see that.
And their confidence doesn't stem from putting others down or division. It comes from knowing who they are as a person and being really deeply comfortable with using their power.
I like that.
One famous man known for his genuine kindness and yet possessed great power was Nelson Mandela.
Oh, yeah.
Nelson Mandela, a gentle giant of justice.
Tell us the story then.
Well, Nelson Mandela was born in 1918 in a small village of Mebzo, South Africa, became a towering figure in global history, not just because he led the fight against apartheid, but because of the grace and humility and the kindness in which he yielded his influence. Mandela spent 27 years in prison for opposing the brutal system of racial segregation in South Africa.
They say, hey, Bob, stop it already with the corny jokes. I say, what are you going to do? Call the crops? What are you going to do? Call the crops? Good, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, yeah. When he was released in 1990, he had every reason, to be bitternful or vengeful, but instead he just came out with a calm, forgiving spirit. His kindness, not a weakness, but a choice. And one of the most powerful choices a leader can make.
Today I noticed that the cover of my ironing board was wrinkled and I laughed at the irony and then I laughed again because of the word irony. Very pressing issue.
Good on you, Bob.
Yeah.
In 1994, he became South Africa's first black president, elected in the country's first multiracial democratic elections. And with this power, he could have easily sought revenge. Instead, he prioritised reconciliation, famously working with his former oppressors to unite a deeply divided nation.
A belly button is basically a scar from when you got into a knife fight with a guy with a mask after being evicted from your first place.
Back when you could hold your breath underwater for months. I miss those days.
Yeah, me too.
One of the most symbolic acts was supporting the national rugby team, a team long seen as a symbol of white dominance. As a way to bring the country together, his leadership was defined by compassion, patience and moral strength.
My attitude? It's sponsored by coffee and a lifetime of unresolved issues.
What awesome self-help moments there, Bob.
Yeah.
Despite his political power, Mandela never let go of his humility. He was known for speaking kindly to everyone, from heads of state to prison guards, and for his ability to listen deeply, even to those who once persecuted him.
Clothes too dirty for the closet, but too clean for the laundry. Welcome to the chair.
And the treadmill.
Yeah.
Mandela's legacy, his life is proof that true power does not lie in domination, but in dignity. His kindness has consequences, deep, world-changing ones. He remains a rare example of someone who could hold political authority and still choose empathy over ego. His legacy reminds us that kindness, when paired with courage and principle, is one of the most transformative powers in the world.
I recently took a poll and found out that 100% of the people in the tent were angry when it collapsed.
Very you, Bob. Very Bob.
Yeah.
What makes this duo powerful and kind so extraordinary is the choice behind it. Anyone with power can choose selfishness, to be arrogant or try to control people. But to choose compassion when you could choose dominance, that's rare. And that's character.
Oh, yes.
Hashtag powerful and kind. When someone has that blend, the quiet influence, that lovely warmth of kindness, it doesn't just catch the eye, it earns respect. It inspires trust and makes people feel seen and safe. And I just love that. That's charisma at its most evolved, is a force for connection. That kind of person doesn't just walk into a room, they change it, don't they? And yes, that's the kind of presence that stops you in your tracks. That's the kind that stays with you.
Oh, I like that.
And do you?
Yes, I do.
Good on you, Bob. I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
Well, I didn't say that, but I like that particular thing you said.
Oh, all right, thank you. Interestingly, many people move through the world unaware of the quiet, the power that they carry, power not built on status or wealth, but just through their kindness, their presence and their genuine thoughtfulness. That has always blown me away about, certain people that I know and have known in my life. Their thoughtfulness and their kindness has just been extraordinary. And when they bestowed upon you, it's lovely. Their influence you feel forever. So I don't know why it is, but it does seem to be that the gentler strengths can go unnoticed even by the people who possess them, which is kind of true when you bring it up to certain people and, you'll comment on their kindness, their thoughtfulness, and, it's almost too much for them.
Yeah.
Yet a simple act of kindness can shift the direction of someone's entire day. A moment of attentive listening can make another person feel seen in a world where so many feel invisible, and that's a pretty ordinary feeling.
I reckon.
And time given freely, without expectation, without hurry, has a way of reminding us all that, that we matter. And these gestures look small from the outside, but their effects echo far past the moment. People rarely realise that their smile might be the only warmth someone receives that day, or maybe, in a week or for a while, or that their encouraging words might become the spark that someone else holds on to during, a difficult time. They don't see the way their consistency brings peace. It is something that you can rely on with certain people, or how their thoughtfulness becomes a safe place for others to land. Again, I've got to say I have known people who possess that very special kind of kindness and are very, very powerful because they yield their time so easily, and it's a quiet kind of power, and it doesn't announce itself, but it transforms, and it can transform. It has transformed many aspects of my life, helped me with my parenting, or helped me feel better about something that I was really quite confused about. It works gently and steadily, often anonymously, and the people who wield it most naturally are usually the last to recognise that's a strength that they carry. If only more people understood that their compassion is not ordinary, it is a force. The time they give, the care they show, and the thought they put into others' well-being are all forms of influence that shape the world in ways that they may never, fully see. Their kindness is a kind of leadership.
My daughters.
No, they're not your daughters, they're my daughters.
All right, then, your daughters.
Yeah, are very thoughtful women, and their kindness has gotten me out of some binds in my life by way of organising something for me, or a present arrives at the door, or a kind ear, or really wanting to help me, form a decision when I'm feeling like, a little bit lost. And, the girls always say to me, it comes back to you, Mum, and their kindness to me is legendary. I am fortunate, very, very, very.
Oh, yeah. So what are you aiming at?
I'm not aiming at anything, but that time has come.
No!
Yeah, the end of the episode has come when we've talked about being kind and powerful.
Oh, yeah, righto.
So thank you for being with us. I hope you enjoyed it. Say g'day. Say g'day to the family for me. Give the sausage dog a wafer, and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then. Bye.
Bye!